Hey guys, I'm Phantom. Okay, no, I can't fucking make this video with this fucking skin on. Hey guys, I'm Phantom. And this is a video I've tried to make, like, I want to say 6 times over the last couple of months. But it's a really hard video for me to make for very obvious but specific reasons, and quite a few of them. I'm having a really hard time, and I'm in control of very, very, very little. And I know every single adult says that. And I always used to say it whenever I was having like a hard week of work or something like that before I had all my medical problems, so I get that. But I genuinely don't have control over any single part of my life. And I've been wanting to convey what it's like. See, this right here, what you're seeing right now, me struggling to find words, long gaps between starting and finishing sentences, drawing out things. It's not me trying to fill time. It's not me trying to figure out the best words for something. I am insane, with a capital I. I have psychosis and cognitive decline because of multiple sclerosis. This isn't me struggling to find words. This is my brain's complete lack of the ability to convey thought. And that's why this video matters so damn much to me. Because I can't convey thought. But if I could, just this one time, I can feel human again. I can feel like I'm not a pre-coded NPC that walks around in the background until the render distance is too short and I turn to a low poly version or disappear entirely. Because that is what it feels like every single waking minute of my life. And my inability to maintain a train of thought or to finish a sentence make it really, really, really fucking hard to do that. Even just this one run-on sentence I just did. I don't remember what I said at the start of it. So you can imagine why it's difficult to convey my thoughts and experiences in any medium whatsoever. But I have to try. And I've been trying multiple times, and multiple times it didn't work. So I'm giving it another shot now. Hopefully, this time it does. I'm gonna open up, I don't know. Let's open up fucking Paint. Microsoft Paint. There we go. That ended up working out and happening easy. I wish everything worked that easy. Let's say this is me. Alright. This circle is my average daily cycle, as well as many other things. Right there I am in the middle. Yee, look at me. I'm so smiley. I'm having such a good time. See, my arms are being held up. I'm going, yay! Having a good time. Now, the average daily cycle. Oh, God, it's breaking. Are we good now? Is it gonna work now? I gotta fucking crop it. Yeah, this is working. I'll take it. It's better than nothing. Filters. Video effect. Crop. 300. Nope, wrong one. 300. 200. 100. 150. There we go. Bottom. 50. 80. The right. 10. And then the left. 30. 50. 60. There we go. Alright. I need a drink. Losing my fucking voice. Okay. Now, let's pretend this circle is consciousness, okay? This is a person's daily existence. You can put any number of things in here. Dreams, you can put thoughts, wishes, things you're working towards, your job, your daily activities, your passions, the people you interact with, your significant other. You can put coworkers, neighbors, anything that takes up any point in your conscious day, okay? That's what this is meant to represent. And this is me in the middle. So let's just look at an average conscious day, okay? Solid, like, I don't know, 9 hours of sleep. So this is just sleep, right? Or it's supposed to be anyways. This is sleep, and then you have the rest of your day. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I want to cram into this rest of my day, okay? A lot of things that I want to, but necessarily can't. So let's just cut out another chunk. This is work. Now this is my free time. This is the time where I'm not actively working and actively sleeping. I am supposed to try and cram as much as I possibly can in here. But something that's kind of big and takes up a lot of space if I do it regularly is streaming. I'm not going to complain about being a streamer. I'm also not a good writer with the fucking control or mouse, but I'm not going to complain about it being a streamer because that's not something to complain about. I like streaming. It's one of my, if not my single biggest passion that I currently have going on in my life. I spend a lot of time thinking about and actively doing it, especially when I'm at work. I'm thinking up ideas to make for videos. But this can take anywhere from, I don't know, 3 to 8 hours out of my day, which I don't have a lot of hours here for anyways, right? So I also have to take my meds. So meds take up a chunk of my day because I have to consciously take them at a specific time. I take a lot of medications. Medication in order to go to sleep, medication in order to stay asleep, medication in order to wake up, medication in order to inhibit my immune system so my brain doesn't kill itself. Top of that, I have regular, constant doctor stuff. I have to stay in very close contact with my doctors, of which I am in contact with 4 of them, whom I see on a regular basis, one of which every month, 2 of which every 6 months, and 1 every year. But I still have to be in constant contact with them at all times. Then also food. I have to pay attention to food. My nutrition is very important because if I don't actively keep it going, my body is going to fall apart out from underneath me. Because if you lose something from multiple sclerosis, for example, your legs, or your eyesight, or your ability to think, you still have it. But if you don't use it to any degree and properly take care of your body, you will lose it anyways. If you have perfectly functional legs, but then you lose your ability to use your legs for 2 months and you don't do any exercise, you don't do any practices, and you eat and sleep poorly during those months that you don't have your legs, when you get the ability to move them again, they're going to be useless. And you will have to completely relearn how to use your legs because your legs will be extremely weak, your muscles will have atrophied, yada, yada, yada. So nutrition is an extremely important part of my day. Obviously, there's the normal, regular, daily activities, like self-care. So I'm just going to write self-care. But when I say self-care, I mean like showering, brushing your teeth, taking care of your laundry, keeping your room clean, which is another thing I have to do constantly. I have to clean constantly. I am immune suppressed. If I get sick, it will potentially kill me, especially when the new medication I'm about to go on will kill me, right? If I get sick, I gotta really avoid that. So I have to clean my room constantly, can't let dust build up. I can't let anything that has food waste on it sit around for too long. I don't want any bacteria growing or mold of any sort. Mold is extremely dangerous to me. I also have to constantly use hand sanitizer at like all times because if I get anything on my hands and then I touch my nose or I touch my teeth or I touch my eyes, I'm in trouble. So this is something that I have to consciously and constantly dedicate a lot of my waking brain activity towards. And then on top of having to clean, obviously, there is societal regulations. So I'm just going to write societal. I'm going to explain what I mean by societal regulations. Making payments on cards, credit cards, bank payments, having to constantly keep my vehicle registration up, make sure that my proof of insurance is still up to date in my car, keeping proper identification where I will remember it is, because if I have to go to town, I have to have it ready for me. And if I don't remember where I placed it, which is really easy to forget things when you have cognitive decline, I'm now going to either be late for work or I'm potentially going to be spending upwards of an hour of my daily activity just trying to find my fucking driver's license. Shit like that. And then on top of just like things with vehicles and so on and so forth, there's other things that I have to do very regularly as well because of my medical complications. But I'm not going to write that again because I'll just combine the fact that doctor and societal is already there, so I don't have to worry about like medical paperwork, picking up prescriptions that I have to make sure I always have with me. I'm regularly getting phone calls from pharmacies to like make sure that I'm getting my pills at a half decent time. So that is a thing that I have to constantly kind of pay attention to, right? And then I'll just write social, even though I have very little of a social life. I still have to be in contact with family, trying to stay in contact with parents, with siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, yada yada yada. Like, you don't every single day interact with that, but sometimes you do interact with like your parents every day, or at least you try to. Notice I don't bring up friends because outside of work I don't really have friends. I can't go out because of my immune suppression, so it's kind of impossible to like meet people, if that makes sense. And I make a conscious effort to not be friends with people at work, because anytime you work at any degree of any workplace, drama is going to bleed into it in one way or another, and I am not fucking wasting a single second of my daily thoughts wondering or worrying about my social relationships with friends that might be yelling at each other or some shit at work. That's stupid. I will never do that. I will always be impartial while I'm at work. That's just kind of the worker I am. Already you can see things are getting pretty stocked up. But the truth is, this as it is fine. Hobbies, alright. Which is like making music, drawing, learning Japanese, learning how to play the guitar, doing covers, learning how to make video games, as well as just playing video games in my free time. If this was my daily life, would be perfect. God, I wish this was how simple things actually were for me. If this was, this would be perfect for me. Notice I don't have significant other and stuff like that because I live alone. I don't live with anybody anymore. I lived with someone for 10 years, and then they cheated, lied about it, and then left. So that's completely off the table. I don't have to worry about that. And honestly, this is this is what you would consider a normal human beings, like especially an adult in America, the United States of America. This is what you would consider their normal daily existence. You might be able to squeeze in little things every once in a while if you have something that you really, really want, but for the most part, you work because obviously you have to pay for things. You can't not pay for things. You have to as an adult. That is a regular normal thing that everybody does. Sleep is important, and you have to be getting it because your body will fall apart without it. Not getting good sleep is one of the fastest ways to ruin your body outside of drug use. Now, where things get complicated is that this isn't my normal daily life. Because every single thing that you see here, I do not have control of. I have extremely severe insomnia. And when I say extremely severe insomnia, I mean I will not sleep for days if I don't take medication. So what do I have to do about that? Well, I have to take meds to fall asleep. Now, you may think, oh, well, you just take pills and you knock out. No, I am on incredibly high levels of sleep medication. Insanely incredible high levels, to the point that my doctors are baffled that I can even continue to keep my eyes open 20 minutes after taking them all. I take max dose amitriptyline, max dose gabapentin, max dose melatonin. I take max dose, I take like, and 15 milligrams of delta 9 THC. And I will take all of that. And if my body is not tired, I won't sleep for 9 hours after I take it. So, being tired is extremely important, which means I have to wake up. Here's the problem. I don't just have crippling insomnia, I have crippling hypersomnia, which means once I fall asleep, I sleep for a ridiculously long fucking time. I will sleep anywhere from a good healthy 8 hours to 20 hours, and I have absolutely no fucking control over that because I also have narcolepsy. So what do I take? More fucking meds. I take meds to stay asleep, and I take meds to wake up. And before you ask, just get a better, put some alarms on or something. Obviously that's just put alarms on your phone and on your computer with your speakers turned on, because then you have to get out of bed to turn it off, right? No, that doesn't work. I will turn it off in my sleep. I am a different person when I sleep. Everything I do after I pass out while on these medications is out of my control. And when I say I'm a different person, I genuinely fucking mean it. I have called out of work in my sleep, called my boss, and had a in-depth conversation with them while asleep, called my doctor and rescheduled appointments while I'm asleep. I have gotten out of bed, gotten dressed, walked upstairs, talked to my grandparents, said, hey, I'm not going to work today, I called out, so don't worry about it. Walked back downstairs, closed the door, laid back down, all while asleep. In the days of yore, over a year and a half ago past, I had a significant other I lived with who could wake me up, but that is no longer an option. So my sleep is completely out of my control. Do you start seeing what the problem is when I mention that I can sleep upwards of 20 hours? If I fall asleep at 5, 6 in the morning because I took my pills at midnight and it took 6 hours for them to kick in for me to actually sleep, all right? Let's just say that hypothetically. So this, 6 in the morning, all right? And then I sleep until 10 p.m. You see the problem? This is now all dedicated to sleep. And all I have is this tiny, tiny, tiny little window of shit before I'm supposed to be taking my pills and trying to sleep again, right? Do you see what the other problem is? I said that when I take my meds, I need to be tired. If I wake up at 10 fucking p.m., I'm not going to be tired at 6. Which pushes back when I fall asleep even farther. Now, if this were a perfect world and I could constantly change my daily schedule every single day, that'd be fine. I'd just live with a poor circadian rhythm. I'd set up a custom clock so that my days wouldn't be based on 24 hours at a time. It would be based on 32 hours at a time, because I have 12 waking hours and I sleep for 20 hours. That'd be perfectly fine. But that's not the case, because work I don't fucking choose. I have to come in at this time for work, which means I can't sleep through it. I can't. I have to wake up. And if I do wake up, that's fine. But notice, my body wants 10 more hours of sleep. So when I go to work, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I work, I do it, but when I get home, I am not a fucking conscious human being. I am so ridiculously fucking tired. Fuck my meds, fuck doctors, talking to family, eating food, cleaning, taking care of myself, societal norms. I don't have the ability to do that. My body is shutting down. If any of you have ever been so tired that your body stops caring about anything but sleep, you know what I'm talking about. But what happens if I do fall asleep right here? If I do fall asleep right here, and I don't take my meds, I'll sleep for maybe 6 hours. Guess what happens if I fall asleep for 6 hours? I'm awake at fucking 10 again. Nothing got fixed. the whole next day is going to have the exact same problems until I eventually have a day off of work where I can sleep for the whole fucking day and reset my cycle. I can't... And I really need to reiterate, this is only talking about sleep. I'm going to be talking about a bunch of other shit on top of work. Or sleep, okay? So this is just the first part, trying to explain all the bullshit I have to deal with in order to just have a functional day, which is an impossibility for me at this rate. Now, when you sleep and have a waking, active cycle like I do, screw even being able to get 3 hours of a stream in. I'm not able to take my meds properly. I'm not able to send proper messages. Like, if you wake up at 2 in the fucking morning, your doctor and your parents aren't awake. You can't respond to their text. You can't send them a message or have a phone call with your doctor at 2 in the fucking morning. You can't renew your driver's license. You can't go get groceries if you're low on food. I can clean, but that's fucking it. I might be able to do a little bit of my hobbies if I really, 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 really want to. But keep in mind, these hobbies are split into a billion fucking things. So I can't just do something and then feel good about it. Now, that is the problems with sleep. Which, it is what it is. It's fine. Let's undo all of that and just act like that's not a problem for a moment, okay? Sleep is messy and it's a problem. It is what it is. Let's go to work, okay? I work very random hours. I can only work between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. thanks to paperwork that I filled out, and I can only work 24 hours a week. Legally. I regularly break those rules in order to work my job, because my work limitations are very severe, to the point that if I wanted to work a different job, I can't. Nowhere is going to hire someone with the limitations that I have, so... because I want to keep working and because I've never thought about going into full disability before, I just break the rules. I work earlier than I'm supposed to. I work later than I'm supposed to. I work more hours than I'm supposed to, and I get really fucking exhausted. My limitations at work exist for a very specific reason. I am severely ill. My body is not functioning at full capacity. My brain doesn't work right. My arms and legs hurt. I have neuropathic pain. I'm on incredible amounts of medication in order to sleep. And trust me, if you go into work when you're on the medication I'm on, I'm legally not supposed to be able to fucking drive. I am considered under the influence, so long as I am on that ridiculously high concentration of that wide array of meds. I can't drive. You know what happens when I get put in a situation where I don't sleep? It's 10 in the morning, I gotta work at noon, and I'm still on my pills. I have to call out. I cannot drive. This is not a situation of, oh, find someone else who can drive you. I live really far away from work. Nobody is going to go an hour out of their way to pick me up for a 4-hour work shift. I have to call out. I have to miss the work, which means I miss out on pay, which really fucking sucks, because if you only get paid for 24 to 26 hours a week and you miss out on 6 hours, that's a massive fucking chunk of your paycheck gone, which means I now have to try and make ends meet. I'm constantly worrying about money. I'm constantly worrying about bills, about card payments, about insurances, yada yada yada. Just all the stuff that's on this list already, so there's no point in bringing it back up, right? But I make it work. I make it work. Work is one of the only things I've had control of because I do it. I get paid, I make the payments, I can at least feel in one facet of my life like a functional human being, which is a good thing. But I don't get it anymore. I'm losing control. I am, against my will, going to be fired from my job because my multiple sclerosis is too advanced. I have to go on a medication called, I'm forgetting. Ocrevus, and I am going to have medically induced hypergamma globulinemia. I can't be anywhere where people frequent. I can't be in anywhere where I'm in regular sunlight. I can't be anywhere where I can't do the job that I do. I work a very physical job. I do order fulfillment for a home improvement store. I am in charge of pretty much every single online and in-store order that goes through a customer. So I do a lot of physical work, and I'm constantly around other people, which I'm not going to be able to do once I'm on this medication. I'm technically not supposed to be doing it now. According to the paperwork I filled out with my doctor, I am not supposed to be anywhere where people are constantly. I'm not supposed to be in direct contact with people because I am immune suppressed from my medication. I am not supposed to overwork myself to the point that my body temperature rises too high, because that can cause multiple sclerosis relapses. On top of that, I'm not supposed to be in the sun, because if I'm outside and standing in the sun without protection, I'll get skin cancer. And when you have an increasingly suppressed immune system like I do, that skin cancer will kill you fast. So I'm gonna be losing my job, which means I'm not gonna be being paid. I'm gonna be getting some money through disability whenever this happens in the next couple of months, but it is going to be less than I make now, and what I make now is not a living wage. I don't even make a third of the amount of money that I would have to be making every single month to live comfortably as a 26-year-old man in Minnesota, USA. I am extremely poor. And as much as I wish there were other facets for me to make money, look, no, this is a good segue into the next part. Let's pretend that I can turn my hobbies like 3D model creation or drawing or music into a facet of avenue. So now I have to pay attention. That is now up and on the front of things, right? I gotta really pay attention to that. So let's click and drag. Work is now hobbies. Because I can't get a job. The United States Social Security Administration says I'm not allowed in the national workforce. That's the right term that I'm looking for. Let's try and see if I can make money out of my hobbies, okay? So let's just pretend that this is a patch. Hobbies is a patch for not being able to work, and my meds are a patch for having bad sleep. Even though the meds don't fix literally anything, and the hobbies don't make up for the lost revenue. Let's just act like it is. I'm taking conscious steps to take control and fix things, right? Take control of my life, because that's what I said at the beginning. I said I don't have control of anything. And let's just pretend that these take the slots. Now, look at all this. This is all pretty normal. Yeah, this is a pretty normal free time allocation as a adult. I'm starting to lose my train of thought. I need to keep going before I fully lose it. Pharmacies are only open for a certain time of day, which means if my sleep blocks it out and I'm awake only at times when the pharmacy isn't open, meds are no longer an option. I can't go get them that day. So for whatever day I slept too long, can't go get my meds. Grocery stores aren't open late enough. Can't go get food. I share a house with family because it's the only way I can live, because I am homeless. But the only shower in the house is in their room. So if they're both asleep and the door is closed and locked, I can't take a shower. I can go brush my teeth. That's about all I can do. Doctor visits can only happen at certain times of the day. So if I sleep through it and I have problems, can't see my fucking doctor. I can clean, which is good. Can't really be in contact with family, so this is half crossed out. Social problems are now a problem. And if I'm sitting here looking at all this shit and I'm like, okay, I have to force some of this. I have to see my doctor. I have to get my meds. I have to go get groceries. And this is not something that I can change. I have to do this, so I can't stream that day. I have to give up streaming in order to do it because I worked and I slept. I have to not stream that day. I have to not do my hobbies that day. And if I list up my hobbies are a really long fucking list. Drawing, music, streaming, downtime to unwind, so watching shows, reading books, or playing games. I'm gonna write unwind. So if I want any time to do that, it's being sacrificed in order to do my other shit. Continuing on, more stuff that I want to do regular. Making games. So on and so forth. Blah, 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 blah. Keep in mind, this is stuff I really can't do when I'm on all the pills that I'm on. So for the little chunk of time here before I fall asleep, I'm way too under the influence of medication to consciously do any of this stuff. I streamed Payday a couple weeks ago. Well, on these meds, you want to see how unfunctional of a human being I am on it? Go watch that stream. Like, I am completely fucking insane. Now, this is how I used to have to allocate things before my most recent medical complication, alright? And the truth is, I was pretty happy. It was exhausting, it was stressful, it was tense, working as much as I did, but I was taking care of myself, and I was taking care of a woman that I loved very, very much. A woman that I loved more than I love myself. So I had that constant personal vindication and justification, so that I can feel like even though my body's falling apart from this bad cycle of no self-care and poor sleep and constantly working, it's fine. I'm doing it, and I'm happy with it. Then I had multiple sclerosis. I went completely blind. I wasn't able to work as much as I used to, so I'm not making the amount of money that I was before. I wasn't able to take care of us. On top of going blind, then my significant other left. And I lost that personal vindication. Because now I'm working for nobody but myself. And that's not a life I can take pride out of doing. Not like this. Not when this is my daily cycle. It's impossible for me to feel like I'm doing good. So there's the mental wear and tear, it is what it is. That's stress. Being a human being on Earth is fucking stressful. It sucks. But the most recent complication is insanity. I'm insane. I have cognitive decline because of my multiple sclerosis, and I have psychosis. So, I can't hold a train of thought. Which means, I go from being able to see this whole cycle to, let's just say, I'm only able to see out of a window this big. Okay? So if I'm focusing on work and I'm trying to think of what I'm doing after, I can only slightly think about stuff in the future. If I think about hobbies, that takes this up. I'm not thinking about anything else. If I start thinking about doctors, hobbies get shunted out for the place of doctors. And I'm still thinking about work at the same time, mind you. I finally get home, I can focus on some stuff. I can stream, take my meds, and eat. I don't have the mental capacity to think about self-care. I don't have the mental capacity to think about societal shit, let alone this massive list of hobbies off on the side. And it's not like I am giving up these things to focus on this. I don't have the mental capacity to think of things anymore. I've lost that ability. It should come back after my steroid treatment when my brain heals, but for now, I can't think of anything else but what's in this circle, and it's been going on for 2.5 months, and my brain is starting to normalize it, which is a terrible, terrible feeling. Normalizing being insane is god-awful. Like, before, I'd forget something, and I'd go, God damn it, I'm angry, because I'm insane, and it sucks that I forgot what I was just thinking about. I can't remember what I was just doing. This is terrible. Now, it's just, I forget. And that's just it. I've forgotten. I don't even acknowledge it anymore. It's dehumanizing, and it really fucking sucks. So this would be my daily cycle, right? This is already a cluttered, non-fucking functional mess. I'm depressed, I'm lonely, I'm struggling, I'm broke, and I'm homeless, and I don't have the time or the mental ability to do the things I like, need, and love. It really fucking sucks. My sleep is bad, my work is already really bad and is slowly killing me. My neuropathic pain is getting continuously worse because I am overexerting myself to do my job. And overexertion, when you have something like multiple sclerosis, is a one-way ticket to pain. It's just generalized nerve pain and damage. Now, this alone fucking sucks. It's a terrible mess, right? But there's another facet to this that makes things even fucking worse. Let me zoom out. I have to make the canvas bigger. Let's, I mentioned I have psychosis. For those of you who don't know what psychosis is, it means I have delusions that are out of my control. There are many kinds of delusions that any single human being can have, okay? Some people hear voices. Some people have fake memories. Some people imagine interactions. Some people just completely make up things that aren't real, or they start to believe situations that aren't real. For example, you look at a big-ass fucking gap between buildings. The normal person would go, I can't jump that. But if you're delusional, you might think you can, and then you'll run and you'll make the jump. You obviously won't make it, you'll fall and you'll die. That is like an extreme kind of thing that can happen. It's a stupid example, but it's an example nonetheless. I don't have that kind of delusion. I have delusional dreams, which means when I sleep, it is extremely vivid and feels very fucking real. Even though everything in my dream is fake, none of it's real. The people that are in it, the things that are in it, yada yada yada, none of it is real. But the real reason it's a delusion isn't the fact that my dreams are vivid, it's the fact that when I wake up, my brain has lost the conscious ability to info dump. When you wake up, you may have had a super vivid, in-depth dream, but when you wake up, your brain immediately goes, okay, that was all a dream, none of that's important, let's start getting rid of that. The brain can only fit so much thought at once. No point cluttering it with dreams that don't matter. So they dump that information. That's why you usually forget your dreams. The longer you go afterwards, you will forget things that you don't consciously try to remember, or remember from something like deja vu. There are different situations where you can remember it, but for the most part, it doesn't matter. It was a dream. Your brain can say, hey, that was a dream. It doesn't matter. My brain can't do that anymore. So even though I know it's a dream, my subconscious brain doesn't. Which means every single thing that happened in that dream is now the forefront of my thought. Which means once I go to bed, I might be thinking of all of this. And in a moment of lucidity, I am conscious enough to go, I'm going to sleep for 9 hours. My alarm will go off. I will get out of bed and wake up. I will get dressed and eat something before going to my shift at work. I will work my shift. Afterwards, I'll pick up groceries and meds, and then I'll go home. I'll have time to take a shower, make myself some food. I will do a live stream, take my medications at midnight. I will then work on my hobbies, like a drawing that I want to do. I've been doing various drawings lately. I'll just smack one up on the screen right there. That's the most recent one I posted. It took me so ridiculously long to draw that because I was constantly dealing with this. I may go to sleep thinking about all of it, but all of that because of my super vivid dream where I met people that don't exist. Maybe I had a significant other that isn't real. I ran into family members that I haven't ran into in a really, really long time. Went back to my hometown. Some buildings were changed. You know what? I'm just going to say what my dream was last night. In my dream, I went back to my hometown, but my hometown was bigger. It was now a city instead of just a town. Also, the lake was on the other side of the town for some reason. Went over by the school to see the new partitions that they added to the school, which aren't real, by the way. That was a complete fabrication from my dream. Ran into a friend that I haven't seen in 8 years. We smoked. We hung out, sat out by the old football field and reminisced for a little bit. But there was a big festival going on over by the lake, and we heard a really fucking loud sound, and we ran over and we saw people talking. Apparently, like, one of the rides by the big festival that was going on broke. And actually, like, it was one of those big Ferris wheels that have, like, the enclosed circular partitions where people sit in. It broke, and one of them actually fell off and fell into the lake. And there were people trapped inside of it. And a whole bunch of people were desperately trying to, like, save these people, trying to help them, trying to fix it. So I jumped into the water, I swam down as far as I could and struggled, but with the help of other people that jumped in with me, we got the door open and we pulled the people out. People were extremely thankful. They immediately, like, it was a big situation. Everyone was in a buzz. People were talking about it. I kind of felt like a hero at the time. Now, none of this is fucking real, but I'm gonna keep going because this is everything that was in the dream, okay? This is all conscious information that is still readily available in my head. There were 3 people in the thing, and they were crying, they were hugging me, they were thanking me, they were asking if there was anything they could, like this was after, like, an hour after. They were, like, asking if anything they can do. I didn't want anything. I didn't want payment. Didn't want anything like that. I didn't even want the attention in the first place from doing all of this stuff. So I was gonna go home, but they offered to, like, cook me a dinner. So they came with me. I introduced them to my house. It was my old childhood home that I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. Had dinner with them. It was nice. A news crew came up to the house and wanted to interview me. I tried to turn them down. They ended up getting a short interview, but they left, the people left, and I was back home alone again. I got a text from my friend who I was hanging out before the whole thing even happened, and he asked what was going on. And I was like, oh, I was about to go to bed, but all sorts of shit happened after we got separated. You want to, like, meet up back in town? Because I lived pretty close to town. He was like, sure. We ran into town, stopped by the gas station that I used to love going to. Got some cheesy garlic breadsticks and sat down by the lake, and I was pointing out all the shit that happened. They were closing up the festival and getting ready for something else. There was, like, a big event that was going to go on where they were going to have, like, a couple big, like, orchestras come over and perform, like, the next day. So they were getting stuff prepped up, and the people there were, like, asking us to leave, and we were like, no, we're not taking up space. We'll be gone a little bit. We hung out for a little bit, kept talking about it. We went over by the dock that wasn't too far away from where we were, and we were gonna do some fishing because we just felt like it. It's a dream. We don't do, like, none of this makes sense, but it's a dream. It's not meant to make sense. It's just a fucking fabrication of my imagination. We fished for a little bit, started talking about some video games, and then I woke up. Everything I was thinking about before I went to sleep was an afterthought. It's all blurry, tiny. I remember fucking none of this. All I can think of is everything that happened with the dream. The festival. Oops. The festival that went down, saving the people, meeting new people and making new friends, reconnecting with a friend that I haven't seen in a really fucking long time. None of it was real. None of it. None of it happened. My brain knows that, but my subconscious brain is still thinking about it. None of it matters. I didn't save people. I didn't see an old friend. I haven't seen an old home. I'm still homeless. I'm still broke. I didn't do anything good to be proud of. None of it was fucking real. And now, all of this is a distant, blurry thing, and I remember fucking none of it. I obviously overslept the alarm because I can't fucking wake up. In my sleep, I turned the alarm off. And I was thinking about the stuff in the dream. I wasn't thinking about the shit that actually matters in the real world. Now it's fucking 8 fucking p.m. I wanted to wake up at noon. My day's gone. I didn't work. I made no money. I don't have any fucking groceries because I didn't wake up until it was too late. And I'm out of food. So I'm gonna go upstairs and eat like toast, because that's all I fucking have. Can't take a shower. Again, it's too late. Grandparents are asleep, and I'm not going to wake them up and be a rude piece of shit because I wanted to take a shower. I took a shower yesterday. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's 8 p.m. is when I woke up. It's 10:30 now. In an hour and a half, I'd have to take my pills to try and sleep because I have to be at work at noon tomorrow. I'm not going to be tired enough to sleep, which means I'm not going to get a full night's sleep, which means I'm going to go to work tomorrow extremely fucking tired, still under the influence of pills. All these things that I spent the first 35 minutes explaining and talking about that are all important and matter, none of that is at the forefront of my thoughts right now. Just remembering the dream has pushed all of this back. So I am isolated. I'm in control of nothing. It's really dehumanizing. I don't feel like a person. I don't get waking days. I don't do things. I don't see people. I don't have money. I can't, I could have worked towards something. I could have worked towards making a 3D model because I plan on trying to eventually sell 3D models. I could have gotten groceries. I could have cleaned, done laundry. Could have taken care of myself. Could have woken up at a decent time. Taken my pills at the right time. I could have streamed. I could have worked on a game. I could have done anything. I lost it all. Tomorrow, this whole thing is gonna happen again. Ah, that's how you extend. Oops. Wish I would have known that. I don't feel human. I'm in control of absolutely zero part of my life. I am not in control of sleep. I'm not in control of work. My job is killing me, but I do it anyways, and I'm gonna lose it against my will. And there's nothing I can fucking do about that. I don't feel rested. I feel exhausted. My head is a fucking mess. It would take me, maybe a fucking hour to get back into the mindset of wanting to work on something. Like the 3D model that I want to make. I can work on that. I wanted to work on it today. I don't remember exactly what I wanted to do, but if I pull up what songs I was listening to yesterday, maybe I can jostle my memory by midnight when I'm supposed to take my fucking pills. I still haven't eaten today. I've not gone outside, exercised, which I'm supposed to be fucking doing, because I need to make a conscious effort to, again, self-care and exercise and eat good, because when I go on this new medication, my body is going to start falling apart. And it's going to hurt to take care of it, but I'll stay functional. Rheumatoid arthritis is the least of my fucking worries. So now, it's 10:30 p.m. I would have spent 10.5 hours today streaming, cleaning, working, taking care of things, getting groceries, maybe stopping for some fast food, something yummy, spoil myself a little bit. And I've done nothing. I am a slave to the things that are wrong with me and the medications I'm on. I want to take control. I want to be a functional fucking human being, but wanting isn't enough. And this is the first time I've been able to get this far into talking about this. And I'm losing it right now. I shrunk this little bit in order to show it's now super small, barely takes up any of my brain because it's been pushed back in favor for all this information and scribbling that doesn't matter. I genuinely don't remember what I wrote in the bottom left third of that. I don't remember things. I lose my train of thought mid-sentence. So I can't even be angry about it properly. This really fucking sucks. So I want, I want to sleep a healthy amount, wake up at a good time, exercise, work on things, do projects, draw, 3D model, do a live stream, work a work shift, get my groceries. I want to be active, I want to move around, and I can't. So all I get is this perpetual, numbing brain fog. Severe depersonalization in a really cold, lonely room. But hey, at least I was able to finish this thought. It sucks. And I don't want to just sit here and act like I'm complaining and whining, because I've belittled my situation and my mental health a lot. I don't acknowledge it, because if I acknowledge it, my work is too bad, and I don't want to lose my job. If I acknowledge it, I feel like I'll be admitting defeat. I'm just a guy. I'm average. I'm normal. I'm a normal fucking height. I'm normal looks. I've got medical problems. I'm 26, single. I live by, I don't live with anyone. I'm losing what little control I have left. And it fucking sucks. It feels like every time I think it can't get any worse, I can salvage this. I'll finish setting up my room. I'll take this day. What I wanted to do was, I woke up super late, but I'll really focus on being able to do stuff good tomorrow, right? I'll clean, I'll do laundry, I'll make myself some food, and then tomorrow I'll go to work, and then after work I'll pick up groceries, and then I'll come home, and then I can kind of fix things, right? That sounds great, but I know I'm not gonna fall asleep at a good time tonight. It's not gonna happen. I spend all my fucking time trying to maintain. And whenever I do finally get things fixed, just this last week alone, I was like, okay, I've got things set up. Tomorrow I'm gonna get groceries after work. I'm gonna work my shift. It's gonna be good, and then I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna be able to start streaming every day again, like I used to do, like I used to love doing before I went insane. I used to stream every day. And my cat got sick, and he had an abscess on his head, and I had to focus on taking care of him, because if he was sick, I'd have to bring him into the vet. So I had to focus on that completely. Then my controller broke the next day, so I had to order a new one that only came in a couple days ago. It's a really nice controller, at least. But 3 things going wrong, and a day where I don't wake up. Later, and I'm exactly where I was a week ago. Absolutely no progress towards anything. I can't maintain a mindset or a want or a train of thought into the next day. I have massive piles of lists of random words and links and sentences and things that I've been thinking of, because if I don't write it down, I'll never think of it again. I'll forget. Like, just scrolling through it right now, I've got all my stuff for Zenless Zone Zero, and then I've got a link to Akravis's website. I've got, I don't even know who that is. That's a link to someone's Twitter. I've got trash bagging written down. I don't know why I wrote that. I wrote down light fixture, Accidental paint. I needed an air filter, clothing, a new helmet for when I get on my new medications. I had to replace my AC motor in my car. I want in-floor heating in my room in order to, have a more comfortable winter. I wrote down that I needed to put this sheets up on the ceiling, which I finally did. Like, everything's just empty. Everything's empty. I feel depressed, lonely. I can't finish anything. Like, this whole conversation, it feels good right now because I was finally able to, like, vocalize it and say it and finish a fucking thought that took me an hour to finish. But it's all gonna be out of my head in 10 minutes. I'm gonna click stop recording and it's all gonna be gone. Whatever I said 3 minutes ago I wanted to do, like, I think I said I wanted to clean, take my pills at a good time, make myself some food, and I don't even remember what I listed. They didn't write it down. I've lost all of my independence. I went from feeling like the top of the world at 19 years old. I passed everything with amazing grades, had no debt, was working a job, had the woman of my dreams living with me. The worst I had to worry about was what I wanted to fucking eat, or what I wanted to play. That's it. There's nothing else for me to say. I'm having a really hard time. I don't remember how I started this video off. So I'm having a hard time thinking of a way to make it conclusive, at least at the end. But I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling. So if anyone listened through all of this, which I don't know if anyone will, thanks for giving me the time of day. I really feel like giving up. Then again, I always do. But my barely existent broken pride doesn't let me. I had that conversation with my doctor on my massive list of diagnoses. I have fucking multiple sclerosis, macular edema, demyelination-based light sensitivity, immunosuppression. I have narcolepsy, insomnia, hypersomnia, depression. They diagnosed me with psychosis, and they diagnosed me with PTSD. I am on suicide watch. Even though I tried very hard to explain to him that there's no way in hell I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Like, I no matter how hopeless I feel, I'm here for a reason. I have things I have to do. I wasn't, like, I didn't get these ideas and these drives and these wants just to die. I'm not done yet. So I'm not gonna fucking hurt myself. I don't have to. The world is doing a damn good enough job beating the shit out of me as is. But I'm starving. I still haven't eaten yet. So I'm gonna go eat that toast that I mentioned. And probably have this video in code while I do so. So thanks again for giving me the time of day. I want to stream tomorrow. I'm gonna work my shift. I'm gonna get off work. I'm gonna get food and groceries. I'm gonna come home and I'm going to stream. I hope. I really fucking hope. Because if I sleep too long, I'll miss work. I won't get groceries. And if I don't fall asleep tonight, I'll be too tired to stream after it. And none of it's in my control. I'm doing that thing I do again, where I just ramble and repeat myself. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, alright? Peace.